Okay, Jim Padilla here, and I got some things I'm going to share with you that I absolutely need you to be aware of. Okay, if you're a business owner or thinking about it, if you are a 1099 employee or anything along those lines here, if you're in business, independent contractor versus employee, this is a conversation that has been going on for decades and has taken a serious turn that you need to be extremely aware of. Right? If you live in California, this is already on the books and it impacts you. If you're not in California, you know that as California goes, so goes the rest of the nation at some point in time. And we actually have some case law on the book that was started in Massachusetts first, so it's already starting to happen. But here's the thing, I'm going to give you the highlights. First and foremost, I am not an attorney, all right, at all. In any way, shape, or form. I am not a CPA. I am simply sharing with you something that has gone silently under the radar for a lot of people and is now starting to take people down in droves, right? And it impacts you if you do any kind of 1099 business on any shape or form, whether it's hiring them or you are one, all right? So I'm just going to give you some of the highlights. I went to a town hall meeting of sorts last night with about 500 other entrepreneurs here in Sacramento where some business law attorneys were sharing, educating what's going on. And so I'm giving you the scoop of some of the highlights. I'm just going to give you the highlights. I am not giving you details because I do not want you to come and say, I'm the one who educated you on this law. I'm simply making you aware of it. And I'm going to point you in some directions. And I'm going to share one simple little thing that we're doing that you need to make sure that you're being aware of too. And that will help, at least in the short term. Okay, first and foremost, this is about the Dynamex case, right? And again, I'm gonna post a link to it so you can go educate yourself. I am not going to give you any of the details of this, just so you don't misinterpret anything that I say. But here's the main 3 points. All right, first of all, in the case law that was stated here, and this is about basically the main focus of this is that every person you pay in your business, must be classified as on your books inside your company as an employee or an independent contractor. Period. They have to have. You can't just pay somebody, even like with IRS, if you don't pay, $400, whatever the amount is, then you don't have to report it. That's great. First and foremost, IRS reporting has nothing to do with labor law. You can be in complete compliance with the IRS and be out of compliance with the labor board. They run independently and have nothing to do with each other. So make sure you don't confuse the two. Okay. In the text of this case law that was handed down from the California Supreme Court, it says specifically in their own language that one of the goals of the case law is to spread employee definition as far as possible, meaning they are trying to expand every possible way to make sure that people can be classified as an employee. They're trying to see employees as a protectable class, which means big potential trouble if you are out of compliance in any way. Previously, there used to just be, it was a little bit more vaguely defined, and so people could be found out of compliance potentially and argue the majority of the actions that would lead towards an independent contractor. They've taken all the ambiguity out of it, and referring to my notes here, right? And they put in an ABC rule. Okay, and you must meet all 3 of these standards in ABC or you are out of violation, period. There is no continuum, there is no sliding scale. And essentially, in order to make sure that you can pay somebody as a contractor, you must not have any control over the environment. And I will direct you again to the case law to figure out what that really means. There's some language around it, but essentially you must not have any control of their actions. Okay, B, worker performs outside of the expertise independent beings that the independent company is set up of. Okay, now what that really means is they must not do the same thing you do. Technically, right? The attorney was explaining this, like he collaborates with attorneys, as I'm sure you collaborate with people. He said he typically they bring on bench people to work casework with them. Now they have to have everybody that they bring on from an outside law firm to work on a project must now officially be classified as an employee because they do the same work as the primary company, the primary business of the company, right? Crazy stuff. And then the last part, which again should have already been in place previously. It's been pretty lax, but everyone you do business with in a contractor status must have a business, have a license, have insurance, have all of the structure that needs to go into having a business, right? So I'm not trying to say the sky is falling. What I am saying, be extremely aware, extremely careful, because a lot of the things that people have been doing business as usual are going to bite you in the ass and mess you up. Okay, be extremely careful. Just make sure that you are moving forward with all your eyes open. Well, hopefully both of your eyes open, and extremely aware. Make decisions carefully and clearly, and consult your legal professional who has your back and who understands this. Don't go to your divorce attorney. Don't go to your Uncle Lou who knows everything. Go to somebody who is practicing business law, who understands the legalities and how to help you, because you may have to put some changes to your structure, which we are looking at in our company. We're going to change some of our business model. We're going to be adjusting some of our structure and some of how we engage our team, right? But definitely open to some dialogue and conversation. If you have questions about that, reach out. But here's my thought. This is the thing that you got to think about. Okay, if you're going to change the business structure, if you're going to change some things about what you do, if you're going to change some of the things in how you incentivize your team, right? In this coaching industry, everybody hires contractors. So few of us hire employees. And if you do, maybe the employees are your nucleus, but then everybody else is a contractor, which also benefits them. I mean, people don't want to be employees, most of them, they want the freedom that comes with being a contractor and independent. And so the thing is, with the changes you make are going to cost you. If you're going to make people employees, you got to pay them more, right? And you may have to do some restructuring and reorganization in your business, which is going to cost you. So here's the one thing that I know for sure. You must, while all this stuff is happening, you must keep your pedal to the metal on lead generation and on sales conversations, because this stuff is all going to cost you potentially in exposure, in visibility, in expense. And you need to make sure that you're still making revenue, right? And I want to point you to it. That's how you survive through growth, change, and adversity, or any animosity, is being able to continue to earn revenue as you grow. And so I'm going to point you to a link here, right? We're helping people right now do call audits, right? Which is our most powerful, viable tool. There's a link down here to find out more about our 10x call audit, which is our secret weapon, the number one thing that we employ or deploy to implement some fantastic growths in the shortest period of time. And I highly encourage you to go check it out. So thanks for engaging here. I'm going to put some links in and reach out to me if you want any information about this case law. I'll gladly give it to you, and then direct you to go find out more and get yourself up to speed and educated. Please don't just think you know it all. Unless you are already a business attorney and you get it, then fantastic. Feel free to educate me further. Right? So we'll see you on the other side. Continue to go out and make massive impact, change people's lives, and make a ton of money. And we'll have the links down below. And I look forward to you continuing to have a prosperous year and close out the rest of this year strong. Check out our 10X call audit and go be a responsible business owner. Change some lives.